Okay, just to go through, just explaining some redox balancing equations through the half reaction method. We take each substance and figure out which ones go together. So the MnO4 minus and Mn2 plus go together. And then we look at the Fe3 plus, or Fe2 plus, going to Fe3 plus are partnered together. Now let's actually look at the simplest one first, which just involves iron alone. And so we have to actually balance the charges. I'm going to use orange to indicate this. This is a +2 on this side and a +3 on this side. So we need a -1. We balance by adding electrons, which are negatively charged, which will add up together to give us a +2 on the product side. So if I actually then put our 1 electron on this side, then we actually have a balanced half reaction. Now notice that the iron 2 plus is our reactant, and that has lost an electron. It's gone from 2 plus to 3 plus, and losing electrons is oxidation. Leo the lion says grr. Leo is losing electrons as oxidation, or oil rig, oxidation is losing. Now let's look at the other one. Let's say, okay, we've got our manganese, and our manganese are both balanced as atoms, so it's 1 and 1, and that's good. Now we have 4 oxygens here, and we need to add 4 waters to give us 4 oxygens on the product side. So our oxygens are now balanced, but notice we have hydrogens here, and I have a total of 8 hydrogens, and I balance those by putting 8 H pluses. Now we can look at the atoms are balanced. We can look at charges being balanced. Okay, so let's actually look at, we have a +8, I have a -1, and that equals on this side a +7. If I have a +2 and a 0 on this side is equal to +2. So the only way that we can balance charges is by adding electrons. So we have to say which side needs the negative charges in order to have both sides equal. And we can see the +7 here and the +2 here. If I take -5 on this side, -5 plus 7 ends up being +2. So that means I'm going to take 5 electrons on this side, 5 electrons plus 8 protons, so that gives us -5 plus 8 minus 1, and so that this now becomes +2. And then the +2's are balanced. Okay, so now what that means is we have 5 electrons on the reactant side and 1 electron on the product side. And the whole point of a balanced redox reaction is the number of electrons lost has to equal the number of electrons gained. Just a reminder that because the electrons are on the reactant side here, the permanganate ion has gained electrons. We always look at the reactant gaining electrons, and it's gained 5 electrons. This is a reduction. Leo the lion says gaining electrons is reduction, or oil rig, RIG, reduction is gaining. So now, if we actually now think about 5 electrons gained and 1 electron lost, we need to take this whole thing as 1 electron lost and multiply it by 5. So 5 electrons are lost to balance the 5 electrons gained. So that means we're going to put a 5 in front of this iron, we're going to put a 5 in front of this iron, and we're going to put a 5 in front of these electrons.